2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, the 13th of July, and a big happy birthday to Arnold Schwarzenegger, Kate Bush, Terry Crews, Lawrence Fishburne, and Lisa Kudrow.
7.
A new report from the Public Accounts Committee on care homes and the government's response to coronavirus has been described as damning. 25,000 untested patients were discharged from hospital into care homes without sufficient preparation or PPE. And now there's growing concern about the potential of a second wave. The CEO of the NHS Confederation testified to MPs yesterday.
I would say in relation to the second spike issue or something coming, the levels of concern among our members, the people who are leading NHS trusts, who are leading in primary care and all the levels and at the systems, is very high. I mean, of course, there's real concern about winter and the compounding factors there, but also about an earlier spike. We have already mentioned exhausted staff. We're already trying to rebuild other services. So combining another spike while you're trying to dual run and do that in circumstances where it is really challenging.
The government is set to extend the period that people are required to self-isolate if they've COVID-19 symptoms from 7 days to 10 days as they prepare for a second wave. This comes after a week-long row over quarantine and holiday travel, after the government abruptly reimposed quarantine on travellers from Spain, which has led to cancelled flights and frustration from hopeful holidaymakers. So, in a time of crisis, there's only one man to send out to explain things.
Oh, no, there isn't.
Oh, yes, there is. It's Oliver Dowden, the Minister for Pantos.
We are reviewing all options because what we wanted is to minimise the disruption, and I fully appreciate and share people's concern about that disruption. I have to just caution in respect of testing. It is not the case that testing provides a silver bullet. And my advice is you can go to those countries, do go to France, to Italy and other places on your holidays, but appreciate that we are at a very risky moment with this pandemic.
Donald Trump has launched into a whole host of TV interviews to boost his flagging poll numbers, but it's not going very well. Here, he's really challenged by Jonathan Swan of news website Axios, who wants an answer on why Donald hasn't done anything about Russia placing bounties on the heads of US troops in Afghanistan.
It never reached my desk. You know why? Because they didn't think it was intelligence. They didn't think it was real.
It was in your written brief, though.
They didn't think it was worthy of. I wouldn't mind. If it reached my desk, I would have done something about it. It never reached my desk because...
Do you read your written brief?
I do. I read a lot. Really? You know, I read a lot. They like to say I don't read. I read a lot.
I
comprehend extraordinarily well, probably better than anybody that you've interviewed in a long time. I read a lot. I spend a lot of time at meetings. Usually it's once a day or...
Republican member of Congress Louis Gohmert has just tested positive for coronavirus, and stories are emerging of his refusal to let his staff wear masks. For starters, he doesn't seem to really understand how they work.
There are an awful lot of people that think it's the great thing to do all the time, but I can't help but think that if I hadn't been wearing a mask so much in the last 10 days or so, I really wonder if I would have gotten it.
Hey, Donald, have you seen Louis' mask anywhere?
It never reached my desk.
Oh, okay, fine. Cheers, thanks. The CEOs of all 4 of the big tech companies were hauled in front of Congress yesterday. Well, they zoomed in anyway. Google, Facebook, Amazon and Apple. That's Sundar, Mark, Jeff and Tim to you. The official topic was online competition, but not everyone was on the same page. Here's Republican Representative Jim Sensenbrenner, who wants Mark Zuckerberg to tell him why Donald Trump Jr. was suspended from Twitter.
Why did that happen?
Congressman, well, first, to be clear, I think what you might be referring to happened on Twitter, so it's hard for me to speak to that.
3.
Peter Crouch's podcast has become a bit famous, annoying, and yesterday he sprung a surprise guest on The Nation. Crouchy and crew rocked up to Prince William's gaff for curry and beers and plenty of football bants. The big question was, what team is Prince George going to support?
previously, I was a bit concerned about supporting Chelsea. I didn't want to support Chelsea.
Quite rightly so.
Now Frank's come in, I feel the culture's a bit different in Chelsea. I'd be okay with it. I do like the values and the ethos of the clubs. I want them to look after their players. I want them to set a good example to the young fans. And I want all our children, when they go to a football match, to come away loving what they've seen, enjoying it, and seeing their role models behave in a way that we'd all want them to.
Doesn't sound like Will's much of a Mourinho fan, does it? What's the best thing about being married to a superhero, do you think? If I was Mr. Catwoman or Mr. Wonder, I'd assume the small things in life wouldn't trouble me much. Not so for Mrs. Thor, aka Chris Hemsworth's wife Elsa Pataki, who got stuck in a flood in Byron Bay, Australia, and shared the whole thing on her Instagram.
Oh God, oh my God, what am I doing? Oh no, I got myself on that key.
Stop, Damo.
She's ready.
Woo.
I'm ready for the rescue. You're ready, Zog?
I'm ready, mate, I'm ready. Let's do this. Come on, 2 mamas.
What would I do without you guys?
If only there was some kind of superhero she could have called on instead of 2 randos driving past.
Hey! We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Oh, okay, not random then at all. Exciting job news now. The Telegraph has launched an exclusive story that Boris Johnson is looking for a new spokesperson for a White House-style daily briefing. Let me just read through it here on Tory LinkedIn. Okay, professional broadcaster, yes. Excellent risk management and crisis communication skills, yes. I mean, this is me. Good grasp of current affairs, obviously, do not listen to the Smart 7. Any questions from the floor? Hello? Oh, okay, yeah, Boris. Not appropriate. Okay, I see. Not welcome. Oh. What, did you watch Thronecast? What about Big Brother's bit on the side? Hang on. Most Haunted with Christine Bleakley? I was amazing. Hello? The search continues. This has been the Smart 7. Be smart, wear a mask. We've got an Alexa skill now, so enable us and then just say, Alexa, play the Smart 7. We're back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.